Good morning. I'm just having a yard sale here by Nahmint Lake. I haven't had any customers yet though. In fact, I haven't seen anyone. I did see a car yesterday, but other than that I haven't seen any people since a couple of days ago. And this logging road, a couple of bridges have been taken out, so I don't know if I'll have any customers this morning. Other than that, I'm just getting packed up. The sun is starting to burn off the morning cloud. The lake is just down there. You can actually see it from here, but it doesn't look like much because it's so calm and it's just reflecting the trees on the other side of the lake. There are giant stumps in this clear cut. I'm not sure when it was logged, but it looks like they didn't plant it afterwards, because it was clearly years ago. All these stumps and the slash and everything are all silvered and weathered. When you want to practice leave no trace camping, the best place to do it is in a clear cut, because as long as you don't leave stuff behind, then you're not doing any damage. Anyway, I'm going to finish packing up and I will make my way down through the slash to the water. There's surprisingly few beaches along here, just a lot of logs that have blown up against the shore, so I might have trouble actually getting to the water. We'll see. Just after I turned off the camera there, I saw something swimming straight up ahead of me. Oh, there's another one. It's a newt, an orange-bellied newt. That's so cool. The wind has started to ripple the water, so it's not as easy to see anymore. It was glassy smooth like 5 minutes ago, and I saw something swimming straight up like a tadpole. And I looked closer, and yeah, it was a newt swimming straight up I guess to get a breath of air. And then it just turned around and swam straight back down again, just like that one did. I've never seen that before, and now twice in 5 minutes I've seen it. It's unfortunate that the wind is picking up, because I might see more crazy stuff underneath me. I find these logs, and especially the branches, extremely creepy when I paddle over them. They're like grasping fingers. There's absolutely nothing creepy about a dead tree, or there shouldn't be, but when it's underwater, God. What a beautiful morning. There's no sign of any other people around here, which is cool. So I think today I will probably make it to my next resupply, unless it's really windy on Sproat Lake, because today I paddle the length of this lake, Nahmint Lake, and then hike about 15 or 16 kilometers out of the Nahmint Valley and down into the Sproat Lake Valley. I don't know what it's called. And that should be another easy road walk. I mean, there will be lots of vertical gain and loss to get over the mountains, but the satellite imagery suggests that the road is open, not overgrown like many of the ones I've walked on so far. I think there might be a dam at the south end of this lake, like a hydroelectric retaining dam. Huh. That would explain why there's so many logs in this lake. It's just full, like the beaches are choked full of giant logs and driftwood. I've been super lucky with the weather and the winds. I've had headwinds now and then when I've been paddling, but for the most part it's been calm or a tailwind. This is incredible. I have this whole lake to myself. I think it's, I don't know, 12 kilometers long or something like that. And a couple kilometers wide at the widest, at least. Man, it drops steeply into the water. The water's so clear. Even these deltas, like, this is so deep where I am, and I'm only 6-7 meters from shore. It's clear enough that I can see the bottom on my left, but when I look on my right, oh yeah, I can see some of the waterlogged driftwood, the white pieces. God, I think I just went over another newt. They're everywhere in here. It's hard to judge the depth, but I can tell that it's very deep. And farther out, there's nothing I can see. It's just black. I don't know what's creepier. I think the creepier part is like half seeing. God. I don't find it creepy when I can totally see what's under me, but when it's only partially visible, like, God, that's creepy. Ugh. I don't like that one bit. It's pretty cool, but man, something about it gives me the willies. Some little fish jumping. These cliffs just drop straight into the water. And who knows how deep it is where I am, like 10 meters from shore. I forgot to mention this morning, the meteor shower last night was amazing. I didn't even leave my tent and I could see them every 10 to 30 seconds. There was one bright enough that I could see it through the roof of my tent. It was incredible. When I was planning this trip, I had grand designs of taking lots of night lapse photography and time lapses of the moon going by and things like that, but I'm just so tired at the end of the day, I can't bring myself to do it. I just stopped for a quick break on this point and it's beautiful and serene. I think this might be my favorite lake so far. I think that's the pass that I'll be climbing up over shortly, over to Sproat Lake. And look at that, there's a little cabin and a privy hiding in the trees. I just checked on the map and this is a wreck site all the way from here to the north end of the lake, which is that way. So this is a free place to stay. Looks pretty beautiful. And just as I near the end of the lake, the wind picks up and whitecaps start sprouting. How's that for luck? I'm gonna try to make my way up this creek as far as possible because I think there's a pretty little canyon 1 or 2 kilometers up, but I'll see. If it's too much trouble to get there, I won't bother. Looks like the way is a bit clogged with driftwood, but I'll see how much there is and if I can lift around it easily. It's getting a little shallow, scraping the bottom. Fortunately, there's not much current. Oh, I centered on this log. That's a big tree. Well, that was a nice diversion to that little canyon up the creek at the north end of Nahmint Lake. Now I'm hiking on the logging road, and I'm going to be turning shortly to head up Grouse, Maine, which goes up to Grouse Lake in the saddle between Nahmint and Sproat Lake. And from there I'll descend down to Sproat Lake. That's the idea anyway. I don't know if it's gonna rain. I did see some cirrus clouds yesterday evening, so I guess we'll see. Yep. It's advice from the locals about how to drive up this really steep road. There's a glimpse of Gracie Lake. I was wrong about the name of this road. It's Gracie, not Grouse. Hey, so I just finished the climb up to Gracie Lake, and now I am heading down. And it's a good workout on the knees. It was brutally steep coming up, and so far it's steep going down. So I'm gonna put the tripod away and get out my trekking pole. Unfortunately, I was pulling out my camera back in the creek there. I was pulling it out of the mesh pocket in the back of my backpack, and the little piece that I made to go in my paddle shaft so that I can convert it into a walking stick, the piece that impacts the road, that came out of the pocket as well and fell into the creek. And it just happened to be a deep spot, and I probably could have dove in after it, but I had my good camera attached to my belt, and the water was really cold, and I was moving, the water was flowing, and it was lost. So I only have one trekking pole now, and I might try to whittle a replacement out of a piece of wood or something like that, because it'll be nice to have two poles going up and down some of the steeper climbs on the rest of the trip. Anyway, that's where things stand right now. Yeah, most of the climbing is done, and now I'm descending. I think it's about 10 kilometers more to a spot where I can put in on Sproat Lake. Depending on the wind, I might cross the lake to get to my resupply, but if it's super windy for some reason, I'll just stay on this side for the night. Oh, there's a grouse. Oh, can you see it? It's hiding. It's right there. Hey, grouse. They look like little chickens, and they're not very smart. Anyway, I'm enjoying this walk. I think I've seen 2 cars in the 5 kilometers that I've walked, so not bad. There's my first glimpse of the lake, Sproat Lake, from South Taylor Road. So I've reached a fork in the road, and I have to decide which way to go. That way takes me west, and that way will take me east, more or less. Depending on which way the wind is blowing, one of them will be much better when I try to cross the lake. But it's very difficult to predict what the wind will be doing over several kilometers away. So, because here it's blowing from the east, but it was coming down the pass where I came from. So it might just be funneling out of that valley and spreading out. And it might be doing nothing over there. But if I go that way, I'll save myself some time. If I go this way, it's a little out of the way, but if the wind is blowing me that way, then it'll push me along. So I was hoping I'd be able to see the water to see what it was doing, but I can't. So I think I'm just gonna keep going this way, which is the way I've been walking, and hope I get some glimpses of the water, and then I can decide if I want to double back or keep going. So yeah, I can see that there's water down there, but the forest is so thick I can't see what's going on. The good news is, now that I've rounded this corner, the wind seems to have died, or not died, excuse me. It has dropped. So I'm gonna keep going, see what I see. Huh, look at that. This is buried in the road. So I've got a bit better of a view of the water from here, and it doesn't look too bad. It looks like the wind is coming from the west, so I made the right choice going this way. And I don't see any whitecaps or anything, so it looks okay. Well, I'm walking down a little slightly overgrown logging road, trying to access the lake. I've walked a few kilometers past where I wanted to cross because the wind has picked up from the west. And if I do cross tonight, I want to be going downwind, or at least have a downwind component. So it was worth walking the extra hour or so. This looks pretty nice. If worst comes to worst and it's too windy to cross, I'll just camp here. I might have dinner here and see if the wind dies down. I'm just gonna get down to the water and see how it looks. Well, I've made it down to the water. I had to put my bushwhacking gear on again to do that. But I think I'm gonna stay here tonight. There's still whitecaps out there. I feel confident I could paddle across this crossing without any trouble. Right here it's 1.5 kilometers. But more importantly, there's really nowhere to camp over on the other side other than a campground, which is a provincial park. And I would have to pay to stay there, and don't really want to do that. Even if there is room, and it being the height of summer, it just might be full. In which case I would be trying to find a flat spot in those hills, which are very steep, as you might be able to tell. So I think I'll just stay here tonight. This spot is lovely. It's got a pea gravel beach, mostly covered with driftwood. The only drawback is there are big bear prints. It's pretty big. And no indication of how old they are, so they could be quite old. There's another one. But this is a nice spot. I'll just put my tent over by where my pack is, and I'm out of the wind here. I don't have to pay to camp here. I'm in amongst these beautiful old cedar trees, and I'm unlikely to see anyone else here since I had to bushwhack down and there's nowhere to park up top. So I suppose someone could come in a boat, but it's getting kind of late. It's about 7:30 p.m. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up and start making camp.